Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's Reiki session. We are in the cozy cottage in the woods, and here there is no stress. So I like to invite you to this stress-free, safe room here, surrounded by nature, in order to help you just step back from all the stressors of your life so that you can put things into perspective. So, in today's session, what I'm really going to be focusing on is giving you permission to release and also helping you develop certain tactics for dealing with stress and really regulating those stress levels. We are really flushing out the cortisol in your body here. Flushing out the cortisol in your body. How does that sound? Cortisol is the stress hormone. So it's there, like all of these mechanisms in our bodies, to really help us in times where we need our heart to be racing fast, blood to be moving through our body quickly. Think ancient man being chased by a predator, right? We needed that in order to survive. It's just a survival mechanism that kicks in when we are in certain stressful situations. Cortisol goes up in order to help us and kick into that survival mode. But if we live our lives in that survival mode, we're not allowing that balance, that beautiful balance with all of the other hormones. And so often in today's world, our minds confuse, somewhat inconvenient situations for the same level of stress as being chased by a lion or a saber-toothed tiger. So we really need to regulate that and just remind our minds that we are safe, that it's okay. So that's what we're going to do together here. You are doing such an amazing job, and you are so good. And I know I'm so proud of you. I know how hard you work and how much you're holding. I'm so grateful for you sharing that, when we get to share in the comments. But even just you receiving this session, I get a lot of requests for how do I deal with stress? How do I deal with anxiety? And, it's just one of those like sleep sessions and confidence sessions that I probably receive the most. And for me, it really makes me feel it's part of my mission to help you with that. And it makes me feel so sad that you're moving through that, because I know how disempowering it can be to live in that constant state of stress, because I did it for most of my life until I started really healing myself. So this is some aura mist, aura spray that was charged in the lunar eclipse, so it's got a really powerful, potent energy to it. And I have a couple of stones in here. It's rose and lavender, and the stones are amethyst and rose quartz. Very soothing blend. I have some rose tea from my apothecary garden, and that's just rose and lavender as a combination is so nice for de-stressing. We're going to be using a lot of florals in today's session. So how are you feeling today? Yeah. Well, hopefully by the end of this session you feel at least 10% better. So we're going to start by doing a little bit of cleansing by setting our intention on an intention candle. And I really want to encourage you through this session. We're going to be doing this kind of gradual relaxation technique. So we're going to start out the video. We're going to share some techniques for dealing with stress. And then we're going to just kind of pare things back and really delve into that kind of instant stress elimination, pulling out the stress. I'm going to let you just give me all of that so I can clear it for you. And then, so we have the foundation of the work that you're going to do, the homework you're going to do at the beginning. And then I'm going to take care of the rest. Sound good? Okay, good. And for you, it's going to be about a couple of things. There's a mindset shift and then a few practical things that you can do. So I hope you find this really soothing, but also really supportive and helpful. Just going to kind of waft some of that aura mist into all of the nooks and crannies of your aura so that you feel nice and supported. And we can have this baseline of relaxation and soothing energy from the rose and the lavender throughout this session. Just this beautiful foundation of relaxation. I made this wreath from everything was foraged from the property. There's like lichen and dried flowers from last year and hydrangeas from this year and tons of acorns and pine cones. I made a video about that. I can leave it linked, but that was so fun. So we're just releasing. We're going to continue that releasing energy, just letting it all go, releasing that cortisol with some incense. I'm going to place this beautiful selenite wand down at your feet. So coming down and just kind of sweeping away that initial layer of stress and anxiety, and then just tucking that just underneath your feet, right at the bottom of your feet. Okay. Are you comfortable? Okay, good. Let me know if you want me to adjust the temperature at all, or you can kind of fold back the blanket if you'd like. Okay, good. So I shared this incense recently. This is not sponsored by thepureincense.com, but the Pure Incense Co. But they did send me this for free just to say thank you, because this is the incense I always use. And so many of you have gone over and supported this beautiful family-owned business where they hand make all of their incense. So anyway, this is sage. Pureincense.com, but yeah, not sponsored, but I did get this for free. But if I hadn't gotten it for free, I would have ordered it, because this is where I get all my incense, my favorite place. But that was very nice of them. So nice. Okay, so this is sage. I haven't tried this yet. All of their incense is so potent. Oh, this one is very clean. It has a very kind of almost like a spring-like quality to it. Very clean, very fresh. It's like a freshie. So that's sage. I'm gonna light this off of our candles here. There we go. Okay, Oh, that smells really nice. Wow. I said this before about their incense, but it's like, it doesn't smell. You know, some incense just smells like kind of burning perfume or something. It smells like burning perfume. I don't know. Like a little bit of kind of perfume and smoke. That theirs doesn't really do that for me. It smells just, it takes on a different quality, like a richer quality. Oh, it's so nice. Anyway, okay. So let's start here. Just tapping this into our abalone shell. Little abalone shell ashtray. I think I'm gonna make some bundles for burning this winter. I think I'm gonna forage that. So let me know if that's something you'd like for me to make, and I can make a video about how to do that. Like pine, cedar, things like that. I have those on my property. So let me know if that's interesting to you. I also have tons of roses, so we could add roses in there. But let me know if that's something that you'd like me to make, to see if you can do it as well. This smells so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about these techniques while I clear in the mental plane and then move through your entire energy body. So I used to work in theater a lot. I'm a playwright and a producer of theater, but I've also was an actor for many, many years on stage. And that was my first love. And I love creating little moments, and I think that's one of the reasons that I really love doing this here, is because I get to create a little world that you can come to just to relax. I like to create that energy, that the whole separate little universe for you to come to. And that's what I've tried to do on all my channels, and I incorporate a lot of what I used to do and what I learned doing theater for so many years, because you're really creating a world that people can step into for a limited amount of time. And the most important thing is that this world is built with specificity. Anyway, it's really fun for me. But one of the aspects of performing for sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of people is that it's very stressful. It can be very stressful. I never wanted to let down the writers. I never wanted to let down my director, my other castmates. You never want to let down the audience. You don't want to let down theater in and of itself. Like the ideas that are here and how you can communicate that, and the beauty of theater. You don't ever want to be the reason that someone doesn't want to see a play again. But anyway, that was all in my part of my process when I would go and perform. And I had little techniques that I would use to help me de-stress before going on stage. But it was still so stressful. And that's another reason I love doing what I'm doing, is that I feel like I can have a lot of that same magic of creating a world without all that crazy stress. And I still get the community feeling of being able to connect with you, right? Anyway, long story long, what I've discovered and developed over the years is a technique that allows me to kind of deal with that stress. And stress and anxiety I'm a business owner. I own my own businesses. I'm self-employed and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot that we all hold, right? There's a lot that everyone's holding. But there are certain aspects that I've developed that I think are really helpful. So one thing that's really, really useful is just to remind ourselves of the reality of the situation at every step in the road. Always reminding ourselves, what's the reality here? When we are prepared, we feel less stress. Stress is our relationship to external stimuli. Anxiety, from my perspective, is more about how we are processing past and future, and a lot of that kind of ancestral trauma that we healed in a recent session, or maybe that's coming out soon. But that ancestral trauma that we're coping with, that plays a deeper role in anxiety, which is more chronic. Stress is a sense of overwhelm at the amount of things that we feel that we have to do, or at this perceived notion of not living up to an expectation, right? So there are ways that we can really manage our stress. And I think that constantly reminding ourselves of what the truth is and being prepared, right? So starting now to develop a practice with yourself where you can take time, a dedicated amount of time, not in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep, not during this session, but dedicate some time, maybe once a day, once a week, once a fortnight, to just sit with yourself, sit with your calendar and just say, what do I need to do to plan for next week to make myself feel more prepared for next week? So to bring that back to my days on the stage, what I had to do was say, okay, by next week, I'm going to be doing the first read through. So I want to be familiar with all my characters' wants and needs, their actions, which is what we call it, what they want from all the other characters, which is what makes a character on screen or on stage seem interesting, is because they want certain things from other people. And that's how you can add depth and levels and layers to all of it instead of just packing emotions into a character. Anyway, so that was what I would do. I would go through the script and just make sure I was doing all of that homework. And then I would make sure that maybe, I have the first scene roughly familiarized so that I'm not off book, I don't have it memorized, but that I'm familiar enough to where I could hold the script, pick up a line, and know the rest of it when I deliver it to my lovely co-star, my fellow actor. So what are little ways that you could prepare for the following weeks? Take some time, sit down with yourself, get yourself a nice beverage, maybe a cup of something warm. Or I've been drinking cherry juice and pomegranate juice a lot lately. I dilute it with water, but drinking some of that is so nice, and the cherries are helpful for sleep. So I like to drink that in the middle of the day. I find that's been helpful for my insomnia, but taking that time, making it a special little treat for yourself. Go to your favorite chair or your couch or a special spot for you. I like sitting on the porch, and just take some time to write it out and just think about, okay, what are the little things I can do right now to prepare for next week, to prepare for tomorrow, to prepare for next month, whatever it is. And then to remind yourself of the truth, constantly reminding yourself, look how much I do, look how much I've done. You can also say things like, when have I never gotten things done? When have I failed to get things done? I always end up doing it. It always ends up being okay. And even if sometimes maybe you don't get them done to the standard that you set for yourself, there are lessons there too. Maybe we shift our expectations next time, right? I think stress is really down to expectations. So if we can shift that and just shift from expectation to present moment gratitude. And that doesn't mean we release our dreams or goals, but rather that we just have a different relationship with them. And always reminding ourselves of the truth. You do so much. You do so much. And even if you're feeling this intense state of freeze or flight because you are feeling so overwhelmed by your to-do list, that's your body telling you, hey, we need to do things a little bit differently. So what would happen if you started putting your wants and needs first? Where do you currently place those wants and needs? Sometimes we place our wants and needs so far down the totem pole that we aren't even able to see them anymore. We don't have time to get to any of our wants and needs. And it's not about being selfish. It's about recognizing that when I have an empty cup, I can't pour into anybody else's. So I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of in order to show up as my most integrated, aligned, kind, compassionate self. So here's another thing. If you're feeling really overwhelmed by your to-do list, I know this time of year it can be really stressful, but sometimes I know some of you are students, parents, full-time, working full-time, working multiple jobs, being a creative on top of working another job, doing all of these things. And so recognizing how much you're holding and just really giving yourself some credit here. You are doing an amazing job. And then I just want to encourage you to play this little game. So, what if none of the things on your to-do list got done? And speaking from the most aligned, speaking to the most aligned version of you, that grown-up governing vessel that's really taking charge and is your wisest self, the embodiment of your wisest self here. But if that were to happen, what's the worst thing that could happen? So from there, you can start to say, okay, through the fog of all of this overwhelming to-do list, what I now know is that not everything carries equal value. So let's say, okay, if I stopped going to work, I would likely lose my job, right? So I want my job. I'm going to keep my job. So that's a non-negotiable here. So we're going to put that one back. Then start to look at more of the things on your schedule. As an example, being there taking care of my kids, that's a non-negotiable. That comes before work. But if you don't have kids, taking care of let's say your pet, taking care of, you have to eat, you have to make, slowly add the things back on that you have to do, but start at that real foundation. And then start to recognize, okay, maybe the second ballet class that my kids want to take has to go in a different category for now. Maybe I can start to go, do a little bit of yoga from home for now, so I don't have to go to the gym. Maybe for now, just for this season of my life, I'm not gonna, be able to attend this party or that thing or whatever. When we do this, what we're really doing is we're starting to recognize that everything in life is our choice, right? It's that growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. You're not imprisoned by all of this. Rather, these are all choices that we've all made. The way we choose to spend our day, these are all choices that we've made. And so if we can start to reframe the way that we see it, we say, I get to go to work. I get to make this money. How wonderful is that? I get to take care of my kids. I have kids. How wonderful is that? I get to do this. How wonderful is that? And once you have those base ones down and you're like, okay, these are the ones I absolutely have to do, then maybe it doesn't seem as important that you answer that one email right now. Maybe you can just send a quick one that says, I don't have time to look at this at the moment. I'll email you again, in a little bit. Life is a little full on for me right now, so I'll get back to you when I can because I really want to dedicate time to this. But recognizing that everything that we're inviting into the buckets of our days, we are putting in there, right? So we want to just be clear on what's a choice and what you feel like is happening to you, and really look at everything and then actively decide to take things out of the bucket or to put things into the bucket. I haven't been taking care of my health. That's actually more of a priority to me right now. So I'm going to put that back in. I'm going to take this other one out for now. So if we can start to do that, that's so, so valuable. And recognizing that when we make choices like this, it's going to be uncomfortable. Making a priority and making these choices means that you're going to have to say goodbye to certain aspects, right? But it means you're going to have so much more space for all the things you actually prioritize, for the things that are the most important for you. So in whatever way you can, I know that might sound really overwhelming and difficult right now, like, oh, I can't take that off the list. I have to do these things. But I just want to invite you to sort of shift that mindset a little bit and just see if something different happens for you. Just see if something a little bit different happens for you with that. Because I have a feeling that it could. Something different could happen for you. I have a feeling that you have so much more power than even you know. So I wanted to invite in the Spiderweb Jasper. This is a great one for priorities and perspective. Really seeing things more clearly. I'm going to come a little closer. Can you see that? Tick, 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 tick. There we go. It keeps wanting to focus there. There we go. See that spiderweb, Jasper? Doesn't that look like a spiderweb? It's so pretty. I'm going to place this on your third eye just to really help you with that perspective. Shifting that perspective, okay? Helping you to recognize that all of these things are a choice, and what if you could choose differently? What if stress doesn't have to be the baseline state? What if gratitude can be the baseline? What if simplicity is something to be valued? So we're just shifting, offering up, asking questions. Is it possible? What if? Placing this on your third eye, my dear. So now we have this beautiful bucket of your time, how you're choosing to spend and fill your days, and just recognizing that you get to choose how you fill it. You get to choose how you fill that. And when we start to look at our lives as choices instead of obligations, I get to go to work. I get to earn this money. I get to spend time with my kids. I get to feed myself nourishing food. I get to move my body. I get to, go to the DMV so that I can renew my license, that kind of thing. When you make that little mindset shift, then you're taking charge of your life. You have the power to say, I chose everything I filled this bucket with. Right? And there's something really beautiful about that. So I just want you to really recognize that this is your life, and I want you to fill your life and your time with all of the things that mean the most to you. So I have this beautiful candle that was made by a local woman, so I can link this, I guess. I've never met her or anything like that, but it smells so good. So this is lilac, beautiful spring shrub, tree, shrub. And the smell of this is so potent. Oh my gosh, and she put a little glitter in it. It's really cute, can you see? So I'm just gonna trim that wick. That's what it recommended that I do. And then we'll light our candle here. We're going to set our intention. Okay? So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered, most aligned self, in loving comfort and in perfect balance, I wish to conduct this Reiki session for eliminating your stress. Now, if you would like to clarify or specify this intention based on what kind of stress you're moving through, maybe say, Anna, I'd like you to help me release my stress about blah, 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 or this stress or whatever. Feel free to clarify that on the candle now. And as long as your intention is in service of your own and everyone else's highest, wisest selves, then we will honor that intention and see it through time and space to where and whenever it's applicable. Feel free to pause the session here and really be intentional with this. Take time with your clarification. Okay, my dear. I have a few crystals here, and I'm going to be using these to help reframe things for you. So this is a beautiful rainbow fluorite, great for focus, mental focus, focusing your energy, and then a rose quartz for love. So I want to focus on love. Focus on gratitude. Focus on acceptance. So anytime you get pulled into that sense of overwhelm, or we start to head over to the fear factory, we're just going to refocus on love. If you look at A Course on Miracles, the idea there is that every emotion really kind of boils down to two emotions, fear and love. So we're taking that idea of shifting fear to love and shifting any of that, because stress is really about fear, right? If we boil down stress, it's really about fear. Fear that our expectations won't be met, fear that we're not good enough, fear that someone else will take our opportunities from us, fear that we aren't living up to someone's idea of who we should be. Fear is really the driving force of our stress. So if we can shift from that fear to a place of gratitude, to a place of self-trust, we're just actively shifting. So taking this beautiful rainbow fluorite and shifting, 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 shifting. Fear to love, fear to love, fear to love, fear to love. When we are in that fearful place, so often the reality of what we are experiencing is magnified. The fears that we are experiencing tend to look bigger when we are kind of casting the light of fear from this side. It creates these shadows that seem so much bigger than the reality. And so when we see that, what we need to start doing is asking ourselves, what's true? What's true? I'm safe. I'm protected. I have my needs and wants met. I'm just coming through with this howlite. Wonderful stone, very calming stone. So I'm going to start to pull a little bit of energy out and allow it to be processed with this. I'm also going to take this pink tourmaline, which has beautiful cleansing properties like all tourmalines. So it'll kind of soak up that energy. So I'll place these two in my hand. We'll use the tourmaline to clear that energy and then process it through the howlite. So now is a great time if you want to offer up any energy. What is it that you're feeling stressed about, worried about? You can just offer that up here. Offer it up. Offer that up to me here. Clearing your chakras here. Release. We have these preconceived notions about what we need to do. But your life is your choice, you know? You live your life. You choose to fill your day with what you choose to fill your day with. Because all of these things are still a choice. And when we reframe that, instead of saying, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, that's a sensation of being weighed down. Instead we say, I get to do this. I get to do this. And then if we can really be fully present, we have our two crystals here. Gratitude, presence, refocusing. Be so present with this moment and what I get to do right now. And if we can be present in this moment and really imbue this moment with gratitude. It is a practice. It's not easy because we're not trained to do that. But it's so important for our own peace and serenity, for our kindness towards others, that we have the power to choose our lives and that we get to do the things that we do in our days. And we extend gratitude for every minute that we're here. Let's take a few deep breaths, slow deep breaths. And release. Let's do a deep breath in, then a little breath at the top, and then a deep sigh out. Do that one more time. Deep breath in, deep breath in, deep breath in. Little breath and release. Gorgeous. I'm going to place these right on top of our selenite. So those get nice and cleansed. Like that. Especially tourmaline can hold a lot of energy. So I might cleanse that again in some smoke. So we're really releasing all of that energy. One more spritz just to seal all this beautiful energy. Place this beautiful piece of driftwood just at your feet to help you ground. Grounding when we're stressed is so important. Placing that on top of our selenite wound. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. So loved. You are strong. You are worthy. You have great value. You are emotionally balanced. You are creative. You're a creative problem solver. You come up with very creative ways of solving your problems. You are safe. You are not a victim. You are not fixed in this state of stress. You are growing. You are protected. You are so strong. Capable. I know you can do this. I know you can get through this. I'm sending you so much love, so much support, so much protection and positivity. Sending you love and light through time and space. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this session helpful. Please let me know down below how you're feeling now. If you're using these strategies, how things have shifted for you, okay? Just know that I love you. I am sending you as much love as I can muster and support, and I hope you're taking good care of yourself, okay? Take good care. Take good care of each other as well. And until we meet again, just be so well, okay? Lots of love.